I'm here early for karaoke. Probably, maybe, possibly one of the last times I'll be coming out to this place, but depending upon where I'm moving, I guess I should say. But the other night when I was at Keegan's, I had ordered a drink and still had that drink, and a guy had offered to buy me a drink, so I let him. And I don't know what happened, but somehow I believe I was drugged. I try to think about how it could have happened, but the drink was ordered on one side of the bar, that's sort of like a circle, and where I was sitting was on the other side, so I don't know. I would have to ask the bartender, and I was completely out of it and had to have her Uber home, and thankfully a lady helped me, and it was just completely horrible. And I was too disoriented to really contemplate and figure it out then what was going on. But perhaps he gave it to the guy who was ordering it for me at first or something, and then maybe the guy was like, oh, maybe he was able to do something to it, and then he was like, oh, well, here, this is for her, not me. I don't know. Or one thing I was thinking as I've tried to figure this out is when the drink was put in front of me, I hadn't noticed it, and then the guy who was buying me the drink, he wasn't sitting near me, but he came over and he touched the glass and said, I told him not to make it too sweet, because I had said I wanted a Long Island, but I didn't want it to be as sweet as they normally are. And so I've tried to look up online today to see, can somebody drug you by even just maybe touching the outside of the glass? Because inadvertently I would have touched the outside of the glass, and then maybe I would have touched the straw, for example, or something like that. All I know is that I was so, not delirious, but so just completely like a fog, that I was putting my head down, and someone was shaking me. Someone beside me was shaking me gently, and the bartender, who I knew, Brian, was trying to say something to me, but I could see his lips moving, and I knew he was trying to talk to me, but there was nothing I could make sense of what he was saying, and it just wasn't normal. I've definitely had, 2 of those drinks before from even there and not had any problem, and I don't get in the car and drive. I always am staying for hours, and I will stay even longer than I think I need to, so I know that I am fine for driving home. But this was very different, and I don't feel like I even really made a dent on the drink that the person bought for me, but I certainly did drink some. And what I looked up was that roofies, but it takes about 20 minutes to take effect, and I don't know how long it was, but all I know is that it was this overwhelming, a debilitating kind of me being assisted to the bathroom, and then I was literally sitting in the bathroom on the toilet for, I was told by someone it was over an hour when they came back and were concerned, and then it was a different person who ended up kind of helping me. I couldn't even pull my jeans up. She helped me, she called an Uber for me, she paid for it, because I was just that out of it. And this kind of thing happened one other time to me, and I had thought that I just had drunk too much, and that was at a place in Portsmouth. And I feel like I knew the DJ, and I knew people there, that I wasn't thinking anything was wrong. But when I was describing to, and this had probably happened a month before, when I was describing it to a karaoke friend, and I was describing just how awful I felt like I was going to die. I was hanging over the toilet, I had never felt like that before. She said to me, it sounds like you were maybe slipped some kind of drug in your drink. And I was like, oh, I was thinking, no, it couldn't be, because not that I know them real well, but I would trust the waitresses and stuff from there, and I hadn't left my drink except for to use the bathroom, and I was sitting with a man and a woman, and no, I didn't know them, but when I had, I don't know, and then I think, well, maybe you just trust too easily, and maybe they are friends of an enemy of yours, and you just were completely, maybe something did get slipped into your drink when you went to the bathroom. And this last time, I just think the man came over and oddly touched my cup as he was saying, and I try to think, where did he actually touch it? Did he touch the rim? Did he touch, I don't know. I just tend to not think wickedly. I don't think evil of people. I don't naturally defer to thinking, I guess I'm too trusting. And so I feel that I was drugged. I feel like the second time was worse. It was just so and I think, if I drank, first of all, I already try to watch my drink or hold my drink if I'm dancing, if it's allowed, because some places want you to not bring your drink onto the dance floor. I want to talk about dreaming. I dreamt last night that I went to the bathroom to use the bathroom, and when I stood up, there were these really nice looking silvery blue fish. I wish I knew my fish type better, because I'm sure they were a certain type, but they were way too big to be in a toilet, so it's almost like in my dream that the toilet was bigger than it could have been in real life, because the fish were probably longer than my hand, and they were going round and round, swimming in the toilet bowl in one direction, and the water was completely clear. So I remember the dream when I woke up, and then I did some research into possible meanings. Wealth and riches, if fish are swimming in clear water, and clarity coming soon, all the way to basically the opposite. If fish are in murky water, people say it means that, you're uncertain about something, or, almost like something bad might be happening to you. But this was very clear water, even though it was a toilet. It was kind of an odd dream to me. I kind of remember feeling in the dream, and I had the dream feeling like did that come out of me? Almost like the way you might think of a parasite or something coming out of you. But, I was just pondering, like, do dreams really mean something, is it a higher force? Is it spirit or source, or God, or however you say? Is it a higher force trying to communicate with us, or do we give meaning to things? I dreamed of a romantic interest and took it as a confirmation that that person is that and other things, leading me to a confirmation that there is something to this. Does it just mean instead that you're just giving that person too much of your attention? Your intentions are being set too much on that person, so then your subconscious is causing you to dream. These are things that I ponder, and I think I can see why people are atheists, because I can see how you could just easily want to write off all like things that don't fit neatly into a box, things that like something that someone like myself might take as a synchronicity, that like you're on the right track, or I don't want to give exact examples right now, but maybe like in a song, like song lyrics they really speak to me sometimes. Something happening, or something being a theme in a movie, and then it's a theme in a song, and then and then you're like at a store and it's like a theme on the mural on the wall. It's like too many things lining up, where it's like, okay, so someone like myself would be thinking, okay, like the universe or God, source is speaking to me and confirming this particular, I'm just making up something right now, but this particular thing to me, or impressing upon me this particular person is someone who's going to be your future spouse, or someone who's going to whatever it would be. It could be anything. It could have to do with a job. It could be anything. But I can see how people would write off all of those kind of things as just kind of woo-woo and goofy, funny. You're just reading too much into that. Oh, that's nonsense. You're just, whether they're telling another person that it's nonsense, or whether they're telling themselves that they don't believe in that stuff. I will say, people who believe similarly to me, I can feel like sometimes they do kind of go too far in their beliefs, and it's a little bit, it makes me want to draw back. One thing that I don't really feel too comfortable with is this idea of like our ancestors kind of like communicating with us. I can even be okay with that, maybe, but this idea of like offering them, pouring out some liquor or some food, I've heard different people mention that, and I'm like, I just can't see like actually ever doing that, and it seems like kind of too far out there from my personal, it just doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't sit right with me. And so then those kind of things can make me kind of start questioning, even some of the things that I'm holding to now, like, and so once again, I really can see why people, especially if you have left, like I have, a very strict religious setting, I can totally see the pendulum swinging and just being an atheist. But I feel like in my life, there's just too many things that speak so loudly of, things lining up, that this, whether it's negative or positive, whether it's me being warned again and again in different ways, in different subtle ways, that this person is not for you. You don't have to be scared. You can be around them. They don't have power over you, but being aware. And that leads me, the next thing I was going to talk about is Gainstalking. So my own definition that I'm just writing down kind of from memory, I had looked it up yesterday and read several definitions, but I know what I mean, but I'll read what I wrote. When a group systematically tried to take down one single person by a series of unkind or even harmful/violent acts due to a united hatred or jealousy of that person. So I'm going to read off kind of some things I wrote down just in the last few minutes. I am aware of such behavior going on for a long time. The time of my healing, when I've been most vulnerable. I'm an intuitive, and I have a very strong sixth sense. I pick up on vibes or intent. I'm also kind. Just because I speak to you doesn't mean you fool me. No, you may not come taking my seat in my reserve section. I know the attempts to want to fight me, cussing in my face, like you damn sure don't know I'm a high priestess. Attempt after attempt to harm, dare I say, kill me. I know, and I know why. Jealousy. Your witchcraft, not still working, as I've stepped fully into my power. Now you are heading for a tower. That happened to rhyme, but I'm not happening to write a poem right now. Let me read that again. Your witchcraft is not still working, as I've stepped fully into my power. Now you are heading for a tower. You try last attempts to take my future from me, but all you have been able to do is postpone at best. You cannot destiny swap with me. I am too powerful. I know the North Carolina contacts they began with and how it ties with my situation here. I know the stalking, fake friend types only digging for info on me. I know who they report to, but she is not in the upright. I am. So as karma begins, or should I say continues, to show each of us for our true self, our true intentions, I am confident, not fearful. You should be fearful of your actions catching up to you. Light will be shed on your darkness. I know of harvesting sexual energy, and intuitively of your fraud as you are gold diggers. I don't operate from the lower self any longer. When I did, I still never operated like your type. Not all who you steal from are aware yet, but will be indeed. Hopefully the towers you experience will afford you the change after introspect you desperately need. I'm an earth angel protected. I do not harm, but I do defend, and I do speak the truth. I don't practice magic. I am magical. I don't need to light a fire. I have one burning inside of me.